Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I'm Alicia J, and I'm here with the one and the only Tarika Foster Brasby. Tarika, we just saw the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game. We were here for the entire weekend.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so many things that are going on and were going on that we need to talk about. What are your initial thoughts on this game? I mean, Team Fee, they obviously won
Yeah.
in a high fashion.
Yeah.
It was, I don't want to say it was competitive. That's something we can talk about. It definitely was not that, but it was fun. What are your biggest takeaways from the game that we just saw?
Well, first off, hi. I'm so happy to be here with you, Alicia. Definitely was. I had put so much thought into this. Is usually a game that we see some defense. These are usually players who like to play some defense. There was no defense. It was completely non-existent for the majority of this game. They almost, Team Fee had like 60 plus points at the half, and I was just like blown because I couldn't believe that they had, I just couldn't believe the lack of deep. Like, I talk about the NBA for not having no defense. And so I was like, wow, they must have really leaned in. So what I have told myself is that there are three players who did not get an opportunity to play in this game. Ryan Howard didn't get a chance to play. Satu Sabali didn't get a chance to play. And Caitlin Clark didn't get a chance to play. And they were due to injuries. And so I know that each player wants to stay healthy, but maybe there was a consensus like, guys, we need to make sure that we can stay in a good shape, in a good position for the remainder of the season. So maybe we'll slack off defensively more than we usually do.
Yeah, and I also think there was just kind of like this center of fun when it came to this weekend. I mean, whether it be, the parties that were happening, we saw all the clips from the stud buds, which we'll talk about a little bit later, which is one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, for sure.
But then also, it was kind of like the change in the format of the game. You had the 4-point shot.
Yeah.
You had the condensed shot clock. You had the live play substitutions.
Yeah.
There was and then the no free throws. That was another thing too.
I loved it. Yeah.
There was a lot of things that I loved about it too. But I think when it came to the game, it was just kind of like, we're gonna go and we're gonna have fun out here.
Yeah. I am a huge fan of the live substitutions and the no free throws. The live substitutions were the bomb. It made me feel like we were literally outside on the playground playing tag, like just tag me in. It was the best. I was like, we need to implement this in some way. The 4-point shot was really dope to see. I love that Paige Beckers was the one who set the tone. Yes. The rookie came out, first time All-Star, and just immediately launched it. I talked about how I felt like these rookies were fearless. Paige was like, I'm going to set the tone for us. Kiki and Sonia followed suit. Kiki had 17. Sonia had 11. I loved it. But yes, the no free throws. We didn't have to worry about the refs messing it up and making it even or uneven on either side because the no free throws was just like, hey, automatic 2, except within the final 2 minutes, which it wasn't even necessary. So yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It was fun.
I liked it. And it set the tone, like you said. I also really loved that the rookies were showing out. It was one of my favorite parts as well.
Yes.
Because, when you come into the league, first of all, it's a lot of rookies to be on the All-Star team, to have the opportunity. And then you come in and you show out. You show what you can do. It was really cute. And she's probably not wanting anyone to bring this up.
Yeah.
But Iriafen had an air ball.
She did.
In the beginning. She did. But it was like, let me just shake that off. And, they talk about the welcome to the W moment.
Yeah.
That was the welcome to the All-Star moment, I thought, for her. And then she just, relaxed into it and had fun just like everybody else.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun to see that in a lot of different ways.
Before we move on to the next thing, I want to say there was one player who played defense and played defense way too much. And that was Kelsey Plum, because she literally drug and hung on to Asia Wilson for like a good 3 feet in the first quarter. And I was like, Kelsey has been waiting to do that for years.
Yes.
This was finally her moment.
It was her moment. It also made me miss them playing together.
Yes.
It was one of those moments where, you talk about all the players that are playing with different people that they've never played with before. It made me want to see them play again together because of the fun that they were having.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out Kayla Thornton. Kayla Thornton went from undrafted, like her story is incredible, to being an all-star on an all-star team 10 years, right? 10 seasons after she began, and she was balling out.
Yes, she was. And she made history as being officially the first Golden State Valkyries player to be selected to an All-Star game, which is dope. Expansion team. Nobody really thinks that an expansion team is going to make the moves that they make or, be a true contender in their first year. I don't think we've talked about an expansion team really being a contender in anything since maybe the Atlanta Dream many years ago. And yet, Golden State Valkyries are playing incredibly well, and Kayla Thornton makes history as the first one selected in the first year of its existence. So it's a feel-good, all-around good story.
Yeah, and we've talked about the expansion team and how many of the players, if not most, maybe all, have not had an opportunity like the one they're having now.
Yes.
So it's really amazing to see them thrive and grow. And then Kayla to be in this after 10 seasons, that is not easy.
Yeah.
To be a first-time All-Star after 10 seasons. And we have to give a shout out to Natasha Cloud as well.
Yes.
For that. Just there's so many firsts, so many really amazing storylines. There was a lot of history that was made in this game. We can talk about Nneka Ogwumike making her 55th career field goal in an All-Star game to pass. She passed Maya Moore for the most field goals made in WNBA All-Star history. Skylar Diggins, okay? Skylar was not playing.
Skylar was my pick for MVP. I was like, she sort of was. She was like, if they leave the door open,
I'll take it. She always does. That's for sure. But Skylar Diggins, she set the assist record in WNBA history, surpassed Sue Bird, got the first triple-double. Come on, Skylar. In WNBA All-Star history. And then, of course, Napheesa Collier, who we'll talk about later, as MVP.
Yeah.
Has the most points in WNBA history. So many records that are being set in this game that we just saw.
Yeah.
It really was. It was phenomenal. And I cannot not talk about this moment. It was kind of the center for me, and it happened at the beginning of the game. It was the players wearing shirts.
Yes.
The players were wearing, they made a statement with these shirts that said, "Pay us what you owe us." They all came out, and we know the players have always taken a stance in many different ways. But what were your initial thoughts when you saw them all come out in these shirts, Sharika?
Well, I initially said, these women mean business. And it was really just as simple as that. These women mean business. Being here on Thursday, they had an opportunity, which is probably their only opportunity very close, very, very recently here, where they had an in-person meeting with the league and they did not come away from that meeting, in their own words, in a place where they feel like there's progress, and I thought it was very interesting that before this game, we got an opportunity to hear from Commissioner Kathy Engelbert, in the first time that she's been able to speak since that meeting. And her reaction was very differently. While they all shared that they do believe that something will happen, it was just very interesting that her perspective of the meeting seemed to be very different. So to see them in those shirts after hearing that just kind of pressed to me just how far apart they are. And then as you fast forward to the end of the game, there was a chant that broke out when Commissioner Kathy Engelbert grabbed the microphone and they started chanting, "Pay them, while also holding signs that says play the players. So to me, it just seems like now this moment is much bigger than just the players. Fans are invested. Other stakeholders are now invested, and this might go the distance.
Yeah, I don't know if it might. I think it will go the distance.
Oh, for sure.
That is one thing. The players have been speaking out all weekend. They've been speaking out before this.
Yeah.
They were talking about the first iteration and how it was really, a slap in the face in a lot of ways. And so they're not going to back down. They never have, and they won't. And so when it comes to the CBA, a lot of interesting things came up this weekend. But by far, the shirts to me just culminated everything.
Yep.
It just wrapped it up in a bow of, what needs to happen.
Vocally, without saying one word.
Yeah. Whether, I know that Kathy had her comments, and I understand that it seemed like they were in different places, but they told their story.
Yeah,
for sure.
For sure.
And they're actually selling those shirts too. I saw that on social. So just, FYI, if you want to
anybody wants to get a shirt.
I'm just saying.
Throw that out there.
Well, listen, I did not pick Fee for MVP, and I'm ashamed of myself.
Oh God, same.
That I did not.
I can't believe I let this entire weekend go by and I did not even consider that Napheesa would be MVP.
And how could we not consider her? Just thinking about the season that she has and how she's stepped up in every way.
Yep.
I mean, even last year, right? I mean, she has been so dominant. How could we not put her into the conversation? But she certainly put herself into it. She said, I'm going to come out here and get that MVP.
She did exactly what she always does, which is allow people to continue to sleep, allow people to continue to talk about everything else. And she just shows up and puts in the work. After the season that she had at Unrivaled, a company that she founded, a league that she co-founded with Brianna Stewart, she won the MVP. She came out here at the beginning of this WNBA season and put everybody on notice and was the front runner for MVP. So shame on us for thinking that we would come into the WNBA All-Star and not think that Fee would want to be MVP. Now, personally, I was like, she's the captain. Maybe she'll be focused on her team. Maybe she'll be focused on letting, other people cook from her team. He said, no, I'm still that girl, and I need you to know that. 36 points is ridiculously crazy.
Yeah, that was the definition of let her cook.
Let her cook.
For sure. And speaking of that, halftime. We have to talk about a halftime because Glorilla, she performed, and it was great. She came out onto the court, did a little part, but what I loved about that was all the players were out there too.
Yes, the players are. This is why I don't have a voice. How shame on you, Glorilla, for making me sing every song at halftime, and now I have no voice for this podcast. I have no excuse, but it's Glorilla's fault.
Glow. No, but it was great. Skylar was out there gigging. She knew all the moves.
Yep.
I was like,
Asia.
Yeah,
the whole team. It was great.
Sykes was getting it too.
Yeah, Slim was getting it. Slim was getting everybody loves Glorilla. She ate down. It was what it was.
Yeah, well, not only was Glorilla getting it, but I would say the whole city of Indiana was, because I've been to many All-Stars, and I know you have too, but I just felt like it was so welcoming. The city was ready.
Yeah.
There was All-Star stuff everywhere. They even had the street names changed to the W team.
Yes.
Which was a little confusing, I'm not going to lie. Definitely got lost a couple times because of GPS. But the city was definitely buzzing. They were ready for All-Star.
Yeah.
What are some of your, favorite moments that you had just in the city, with all the vibe that was happening?
The vibe was great. The marketing and branding was great. And I just so happened to know someone who works at the Indiana Sports Commission. And I was starting to get a little scoop. I was like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, you know what? Indianapolis is such a city that is known for hosting large events. We did this for NBA All-Star. We did this for, Big Ten championships. Everything comes through us. Even mentioned that there are some cities that are vying for All-Star who are, now curious to know how you all accomplished it. Earlier in the press conference, Kathy Engelbert said, it has been my dream to be able to get off the plane at the airport and see WNBA All-Star stuff everywhere. So when I got off the plane and saw the airport, I feel like my dream was fulfilled. And I kind of felt that same sentiment, while it may not have been a dream of mine personally. If you didn't know you were coming to Indianapolis for All-Star, you knew when you stepped off the plane.
It was a whole court.
I was a whole court. Caitlin's face was dead center in the middle of the airport. There was stars everywhere. Asia down the escalator. It was amazing. And then to your point of just the hospitality from the people here, the businesses, even the businesses in neighboring places still had, Lucas Oil had signs. Now Lucas Oil is the football stadium, and they had signs up. And then of course, Tyrese Halliburton being here from the Indiana Pacers to support the Fever and the team and just the overall, event. I just think that it spoke volumes to just the kind of atmosphere that this All-Star brought.
Yeah, it definitely did. In this arena, I know was packed. They had lights going everywhere. There was a time where I got lightweight emotional because it's just an environment that women's sports deserves, women's basketball deserves.
Agreed.
And it was fantastic just to be a part of it, for sure.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, and I look forward to this happening every year. I don't think this is the first year that it's going to be like this. We're going to be getting out of those planes in all these cities onto these courts and having that experience.
I'm putting it in the atmosphere now. Ball holla. We need a WNBA All-Star Game in San Fran, because we need to bring that. And I mean, like, I feel like if you go and set the standard, then you might as well go all out, right? You already got traditions that you guys are doing at the Chase Arena. Let's just make it happen. So if you're listening, put your bid in.
Yeah.
We need to be in San Fran.
We definitely, well, you know, I'm a Bay Area girl.
Of course.
I'm going to be there. I mean, just the environment that they have at Valhalla, period. Like, we got to do all.
You got to do it. It's got to happen.
We have to do it. Now, one thing people were talking about a lot going into this All-Star is because, you know, Caitlin, unfortunately, was injured and didn't get to play.
Yeah.
A lot of people were upset about that, you know, because they were coming to see her play. But what do you think about that decision? It's been a point of conversation.
Yeah.
And we want to know what you think about it.
You know what? I think that everybody gets an opportunity to do what's best for them.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets the chance to make decisions that are best for them.
Yeah.
And so it is a bit hypocritical to criticize Caitlin for making a decision that was best for her. I know that she knows how many people were excited to see her play. I actually got a chance to talk to her on Tuesday. The Fever had a game in Boston against the Connecticut Sun. And pregame, you know, she talked about how she was excited to be in her first All-Star, how she could not wait to participate in a 3-point contest, how she was waiting for the feeling of what it was like, how she declined previously because she wanted her first time to be in front of her home crowd and her home fans. And so I think that anyone who thinks that she didn't truly and genuinely want to be here and want to participate is just not paying attention. The competitor in her wanted to do it, but ultimately, All-Star is for a weekend. You're playing for a WNBA team that wants to win a championship, that wants to contend, and that is far past a weekend. So you have to think about what type of decisions I can make to ensure that I am putting my long-term health and wellness at the forefront. And that's what I think this was. She still was an ambassador here. She was still out. She was still mingling with the fans. So it wasn't like she was absent. She was still here. She just didn't get to play.
Well, she was a competitor as a coach.
Yeah, she was.
She was not playing. She was not giving up her clipboard. Okay?
Yeah, she was.
And she was doing all the Caitlin things that she does when she's on the sideline. So, I mean, yes, it's unfortunate that people didn't get to see her play.
Yeah.
I know that an argument that people have all the time is, you know, people travel a long ways to see these players play, and then when they're injured, well, listen, they can't control that.
You can't control that. Yep.
And they also have a career to think about. They're playing in a weekend, but they're human beings that have a whole life outside of this, and they need to make sure that they are okay. And so
100%.
I'm glad that she took care of herself and her health.
Yes.
It's just important. People don't always pick that. In long term, it can be a thing. So
can you imagine had she played and injured herself further, then the conversation would have been, why did they let her play in the All-Star Game? Why did she play in the All-Star Game? She didn't need to do that. So sometimes it's a lose-lose situation no matter what happens. But in this instance, Caitlin did the right thing.
She did do the right thing, and somebody is always going to say something.
Yeah, can't please everybody.
Down to. Well, we haven't talked to all of you about this since what happened last night, but we had an exciting 3-point challenge and skills challenge that came out looking like Liberty, okay?
Liberty Bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity. So Sabrina Ionescu won the 3-point contest, and she did something that was really amazing. She decided to split her winnings with Sonia Citron. As a rookie, she had to be so incredibly scared to do that. I mean, it's a big stage. And she told her beforehand, she gave her some advice and said, hey, I'll split it with you, which is a big thing. Like, it's not something small. It's $62,575 that you're splitting. And afterwards, she kind of she was kidding around with people saying, I don't know how to send this to her. Does anyone know about Zelle?
How do I cash app?
That's a moment that Sonia will never forget.
Absolutely. Sonia did her, first of all, Sonya is so humble. It's the funniest thing. She was leaving the arena yesterday and she had this hat down really low, trying to sneak out. And you want to say something, but you don't because you're like, she's clearly trying to be discreet. But like, that's the kind of person she is. Like, she didn't want the fanfare, didn't want the attention, just a humble individual. So I know that that meant a lot to her. But first of all, you must know you are really that girl to even say, I'm going to split my winnings with you because you knew you was going to win it. Like, Sabrina knew that she was going to come out here and show out and break her own record if or come close to breaking her own record that she set a couple of years ago. With that being said, I love when stars recognize their power and use it to uplift others. And I think that that's what makes this league so special, is that these women truly embody uplifting other young players to help them on their journey. So I love that Sabrina kind of put a little bit of instill some additional confidence in Sonya.
Yeah, the players they're here that have been here forever, they've built an amazing ground for these young women to come in
Yes.
and just excel and thrive. And we're definitely seeing that. And so
Yeah.
absolutely love that she did that for her.
Yeah.
And also she's giving the other half to charity, which is her own charity.
Yes.
Which is really important as well.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about money and what she's doing with it. Let's talk about what Natasha Cloud is doing with her money.
Right.
Because shortly after she won the skills challenge, which this is her first All-Star, first skills challenge, it was so amazing to see her win that.
Yes.
But then she said, I'm putting down on a house, okay, for me and Izzy. I mean, that's what she said.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
I know. Oh, go ahead. Excuse me. Go ahead.
Well, no, and I was just going to say, kudos to her for putting down on a house and getting the house, from the winnings. Like that's amazing. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they buy.
Listen, I was just getting ready to say, you and I are both recent homeowners.
Yes.
And it is no game.
Not a game at all.
It is not a game.
Not for the weak.
It is not for the weak. And I also think it's very strategic and intentional because home ownership is a big thing. And it is also the sweetest thing in the world that you can say to your significant other that I'm about to put down on a house for us, right? And
Yes.
so I know Izzy loved hearing that. You could see the smile on her face when that happened. But it also is a shame that this is the first time Natasha Cloud is participating in this way because she has been this good. Now, it came down to the last second and she made me nervous a little bit.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Natasha Cloud has been so good for a very long time. And it feels good to see someone like her get her flowers.
Yeah, when I heard that she was a first-time All-Star, I saw the video just like everyone else on their social. I was shocked.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I mean, she has been so dominant for so many years and uplifted teams that really need it. She's doing it now.
She's a WNBA champion. Like,
I literally could not believe it, but so happy for her. So happy for Izzy too. Shoot,
I know.
Let's get that house.
Listen, can I come to the housewarming? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, exciting 3-point contest, exciting skills challenge, and something that was exciting all weekend long was the stud buds live that they had.
Yes.
It set All-Star ablaze, like literally.
When I tell you, people have been talking about stud buds who have no clue about the WNBA. They're like, I don't know what, I am not someone who follows basketball significantly, but these two are like box office must see.
Absolutely.
We are now fans. We will now be at WNBA All-Star in 2026. And I love that. I feel like it really not only showed the authenticity of these women, but also gave a very clear look inside what this all means, both in the parties and outside of it. Like, I know those are probably the funner moments, but they streamed live for 72 hours and that included practice.
That's a lot.
That included meetings.
Yeah.
That included sleeping. Like, it included a lot of everything. So who better to tell your own story than you? And I think they told the story of the WNBA in a way that no one ever had this weekend.
Yeah, and you just got to see both their personalities. You got to see all the personalities of everyone. They were dancing with Kathy.
Yeah, I know. Cheryl Reeves, even though she lied, talk about it was AI. Cheryl, you were not beating them allegations.
It was on the live stream, but that's okay. Okay, that was a lot.
It was a lot.
But it also shows the power of streaming.
Yes.
The amount of people that started following them from this streaming, I was getting screenshots from people saying, I see you on the live stream.
Same. Same.
And that is so wild to me. And people that I would never even think would be on a live stream.
Right. Exactly. And that's what I mean when I literally had people who were contacting me and saying, now I get why you love this sport. Like, now I get why you love these players. Now I understand why you jump at the chance, of the privilege to attend an All-Star or a finals or whatever, because it is a sisterhood. And I really love the fact that it gave, in my opinion, just gave an opportunity for people to see the inclusivity of this league. Like, people got to be themselves. They got to feel comfortable. They got to enjoy a safe space, even though it was a live stream. And I think like that, to me, again, just continues to show the sisterhood within this league.
When we had a moment that was on the streaming, they were doing interviews with us, both her and Napheesa, and we asked them who they would start, bench, and cut.
Yeah.
And Tarika, it was hilarious.
The funniest thing I have seen all day, and continuing to see it makes it even funnier because you just had to be there.
Yes.
You just had to be in that moment.
And you know what? That's a tease. Just go to the We Need to Talk social and you will see the entire moment, because hilarity did ensue, and that's for sure. When I was editing that, because I did edit it, full disclosure, I was laughing the entire time.
Give her props. It was really a great moment, a great clip. And I did not really, I'm not a person that really like tunes into a lot of streaming. I'm not really on Twitch and things like that. So at first I was like, well, where are they even streaming this? Is this on TikTok? Is this on Instagram? And that's when I learned, like, no, it's on Twitch. I saw people at events and on the big screen at events. Unrivaled had an event, and because Courtney Williams is a player in Unrivaled, and I saw folks had the TV screen streaming Stud Buds throughout their events. Like, it literally was a hit, and I just can't thank them enough for giving people such an intimate view of who they really are.
Yeah.
This is who they really are.
And there's so many things that are going to catapult from this.
Yeah.
Everyone saw who they are. They saw what they brought to the table and just their personalities together. And this is the first of many things for them.
Sure.
They obviously have the podcast and they've done things. I'm not discounting what they've done so far, but this stream definitely
so simple and so
things.
Genius. So simple and so genius.
So all in all, Tarika, what would be your favorite moment? I mean, in everything that you did at this All-Star weekend.
Wow. Favorite moment. My God, there are so many things that have been great. But you know what I will say is my true favorite moment? Because I think Stud Buds is great, right? It was great to have people be like, girl, I think I seen you. I was like, wait, you watching what? That's crazy. But honestly, my favorite moment is the fact that I get to be here with all of you. And I know that probably sounds like, oh, it's very cliche. No, we are all from different places. We all love this game and cover this game, but we're all doing it from different places in the US. And All-Star is one of the moments where all of us as WNBA media, all of us that love this game and pour so much into the coverage of it, get to be in the same place at the same time. And so we work hard and we do our best to cover this game. But when the work is done, we also get a chance to fellowship, to hang out, to catch up, right? Because we're probably not going to be in the same place at the same time for another 4 months, right? So I absolutely love getting an opportunity to hang out with my people, with my circle, and just enjoy the festivities when we're done covering the festivities.
Tarika, don't make me get emotional on this.
It's the truth.
But it is the truth. And mine is somewhat similar, but it was I love seeing everybody, but it was also just us all being together yesterday. Filming the interviews, doing the social and everything at the same time, just working together. We see each other all the time on virtually, but we don't get to really be together and work together in this way. And I have to give a shout out to Liz Edwards because she has been doing the dang thing with us as a producer. And she always does that in every single way with everything that she does as CBS Sports. But just for us all working together was my favorite moment for sure.
Absolutely.
And Tarika, another favorite moment that I have on this show every week is the AT&T Guarantee of the Week presented by AT&T. talk about something that we obviously guarantee. And for me, my guarantee is something that we talked about earlier, and that is the players are going to get what they want. They will not back down. My guarantee is that with the CBA, the players are going to go the distance, as we talked about earlier, and get what is due to them. You know, these shirts that they wore talked about the pay, and that is the main thing that they've all been talking about this whole time. And today just showed you that even though there was like a lot of conversation about maybe this meeting didn't go as well as they wanted to, or wasn't as productive as they wanted it to be, but they are aligned, they know what they want, and they're going to go after it just like everything they've ever done when it comes to social justice or anything. You know, so my guarantee is that the players are going to fight for what they want. They know what is important in this league. They know how they want to set up the future players in this league, and they know what it means for women's sports. And so that is my guarantee for the AT&T guarantee of the week. Tarika, do you have a guarantee? It doesn't have to be that deep.
I think that from what I've seen coming into All-Star, from what I've seen at All-Star, from how these players performed during the All-Star game, I guarantee that the second half of the season is going to be even more fire than the first. The second half of the season is where people really lock into wanting to get into the playoffs. The Las Vegas Aces is a team that every year we think wants to be in the playoffs. And this year they're kind of behind. And folks are like, are y'all going to squeak in? The Golden State Valkyries, they're a team that folks didn't see getting into the playoffs. They've got a playoff spot. Are y'all going to be able to retain that spot? Everyone thought that Minnesota and then Liberty were probably going to repeat. Phoenix Mercury have said, wait a minute, I got something to say about that. And I just cannot imagine that some other teams that may have been a little discounted, like the Washington Mystics, have put up some big numbers in some big games and have really taken down some folks that people didn't expect them to. And I think that just solidifies that the second half of this season is going to be nuts. So I guarantee that you do not want to miss the second half, because it is going to be even more fire than the first.
Well, you heard it from Tarika, and I have no doubt in that, because if it was anything like this whole weekend that we had, it's going to be fantastic. Well, listen, for anybody who hasn't worked in sports, it's a blessing to do this. It's a blessing to cover this. It's a blessing to do everything that we do in this weekend. But I just want to say we made it, Tarika, because we also work really hard. We also work incredibly hard. And so it's just been, you know, amazing to work with you. And we talked about working with everybody, but an amazing experience. But now it's time to go to sleep. Okay.
Something that we did not talk about was sleep, because it's something that none of us have had since we've been here. So sleep.
So we're about to go to sleep, but we're so thankful that we were here with you tonight. We had so much fun just talking about the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game, and make sure that you tap in on all the socials. We're really, really close to getting 100K on YouTube, which is amazing. So thank you to everybody out there. But, you know, like, subscribe, comment, do all of the things so that we can continue to be connected, so that you can connect with us on shows like this moving forward. So thank you, Tarika. Thank you to all of you for watching. And we'll see you next week right here on We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T.